Okay, guys, I wanted to walk you through the assignment sheet for the project. And I know my little video setup here is probably not the best. I'm kind of the little, or I should say, the big face over here in the shadows. But I figured this was kind of a good way for me to show you both a PowerPoint file that outlines the different aspects of Project Part 1. Now, remember, this is due, I believe it's week 5. I'll verify the dates with you through Blackboard. I'll make sure that I remind you and post an announcement and all that kind of good stuff. But just to kind of give you an idea of what you're going to do, what I did was I took the project assignment sheet that's posted in the course information section. That's a PDF file. And I just kind of copied and pasted some of those pieces for project part 1 into this PowerPoint file that I'm going to walk you through so that everything makes sense. Okay. Generally speaking, project part 1 is the research aspect of our project. So what we're trying to do is conduct some really great research about our company. Now, we refer to this as secondary research because what you're going to do is you're going to access existing information to learn about your brand. And I'll show you some places to look because I want to kind of warn you. Google is great, and I think that you should be Googling. However, there are better sources of information, and I'll show you them. And those are sources of information that you can get through Berkeley, through our library tab. You don't have to go to the library, but you could use our databases online, and I'll show you what to do. So what are you going to do? I'm expecting this paper to be about 5 pages long, okay, which I think is pretty short in terms of some of the expectations of college types of research papers. So this is a pretty short, action-oriented kind of paper. What are you going to be researching? 3 things are really what you're going to focus the research aspect of this paper on. The first thing here you can see is the company background and the general description of the business. And I think that I'll show you some resources that you could use to find that out. But this is kind of, the general knowledge. So what kinds of products or services does your company make? What kinds of what trends are going on with them right now. Are they first in the market, second in the market? Have they introduced new products? And this is just kind of set the stage. It's more of like a situation analysis of the brand. So talk about your company first. Define who your company is, what kinds of products or services it markets. You might talk about things that are going on right now in terms of some of their strategies, Apple just introduced the iPad mini. So these might be things that you would want to focus on in terms of this first part, the company background. The second thing I want you to focus on is the competitors. So you've researched your company, now you need to research the competitors. Now, you want to really be kind of broad in how you assess the competitors. I'm asking you here to outline at least 3 of your major competitors. I'll show you Hoover's, which will give you, or should give you, the top 3 competitors, and I think that's a really great resource. But the idea is that you need to know what your competitors are up to, what they're currently doing, because Project Part 2 is all about coming up with a marketing strategy. So this first part here is about your company. The second part is about your key competitors. And then the third part are key trends. And now this is a pretty open-ended kind of section. When I say key trends, I'm thinking, well, what's going on in the industry? What are some of the things that are shaping consumers and competitors kind of generally? Right off the top of my head, there are certain key trends that kind of affect everyone. A big key trend is what you carry around in your pocket with you every day, and that's pretty much connected to your body, and that's your phone, right? So the idea of mobile technologies is a key trend that impacts almost all of your brands, right? It impacts BMW, it impacts Apple, it impacts Disney. It's going to impact a lot of things because it changes consumer behavior. So look at things that are going on socially, demographically, right? Things like Latino populations here in the U.S. is growing exponentially. Things like a consumer group called millennials, which you are a part of, is becoming a really important key segment. So think about these things in terms of how they're going to impact your company and your brand. So that's the key trends. These are the 3 things that you're going to be doing secondary research on: your company, your competitors, and the key trends in the marketplace. So where do we get information? And remember I said Google is good, but Google's not great. you really have to access the top of the line information to do well on this project. So notice here what we have. This is kind of my main page. I just logged into Blackboard, let's say, so I can see all of my different choices here. I can go to my home page, courses, etc. And so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to click on the Library tab. So once you've logged into Blackboard, click on the Library tab from your upper selection here, and that'll bring you to the main library page. It should look something like this. All this stuff is going to be kind of moving around, so it's a little bit crazy when you get into the library page. If you get a yellow pop-up message that says something about disabling cookies, don't give up. Follow the instructions in that yellow pop-up. It's really, really, really easy. You just have to kind of follow through and go into some of your setup and stuff like that. Simplistic, okay? Do it because you need to access this kind of information. Once you get into the library and can access the information, it's hard for you to see in my video here, but along this side here is a whole bunch of little choices. So I want you to click on the databases section. I'm going to post the PowerPoint slides separately so you can watch the PowerPoint on your own so that you can see all of the different stuff that's really not so visible in the video. So you click on databases from this side menu, and then it's going to bring you to a database page. And there's a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, there's 3 key sections I want you to look at, and we're going to look at 3 key resources that you can use. So from this main database page, we're going to be most interested in, you can see here there's a company and industry section. There's also a marketing section down here that I kind of cut off, and then there's another section called SWOT. So you're going to be looking for this group, company and industry. Then you're going to be looking for the marketing group, and then you're also going to be looking for SWOT. And I'll show you what to click on in each one of these. So let's say you find the company and industry section. You're going to want to look at Hoovers. Hoovers is a really great resource for finding out about companies. So companies, industries, competitors, all that kind of research is really good from Hoovers. So I really recommend it because it presents it in a really nice fashion. So click on Hoovers, and it'll bring you to the Hoovers page. Really easy. You're just going to type in the name of your company and you're going to perform a search. Now, recognize, if you type in, let's say, Nike, okay, there might come up with a whole bunch of different options. So you have to kind of be smart about choosing the right entry and making sure you're getting Nike, the Nike that you want. So make sure that you're getting the parent organization rather than something that's smaller. Disney, you search on Disney, you'll probably come up with a whole bunch of responses for Disney. So make sure you're finding Disney's headquarters, the parent corporation of Disney. Now, a big thing with Hoovers, do not forget, you want to make sure you click this little box that says full text, because you want to make sure that you're getting the right responses, and full text is a way for you to see all of the information. If you don't click full text, you're going to get results, and you're going to read through them and think that it's stupid, that it's not useful. You always want to be clicking full text so that you are getting the full records. Okay, so that's the key. So anytime you see a button or a link, full text in Hoovers, always click it. Always click full text. That's a good thing. Now, let's move on to the second group of resources, the ones that are in this the marketing section. So these are marketing databases, and they're all pretty good. The one that I'm specifically interested in right now is the one that's highlighted under market research. So go to marketing, click on the market research selection, and that'll bring you to this thing called Plunkett's Industry Reports. I am in love with Plunkett's. If I could marry Plunkett's, I would propose and we would have a fabulous wedding and it would be spectacular. Now, Plunkett's is kind of a hit or miss. Notice how it's set up here. It's set up based on industry. So you want to be smart and think, well, what industry is my brand in? So let's see what they have. Just kind of going through. Advertising, branding, marketing. I don't think that's really automobiles and trucks. I know that we have one of our classmates working with BMW. That would work kind of well. Entertainment and media. That sounds like something that Disney might be a part of that. Food, beverage, and tobacco. We have Coca-Cola. We have McDonald's. Those are brands that might be in food, beverage, and tobacco. Let's see, sports, right? We have a couple students working with Nike, and Nike related brands. So check and see where might my brand fit in, and check it out and see what's going on. Wireless, Wi-Fi, cellular, telecommunications. I'm thinking maybe for an Apple, where we might find Apple in here. Computer software, infotech. There's a variety of different options. So Plunkett's is great because this is going to give you key trends. So that key trend section, look here under marketing databases, market research, and then search and try to find your industry. The last one I wanted to look at is this SWOT. It's right down towards the bottom when you're on that main database page. Click into SWOT and it'll bring up this particular screen. Once you get to this screen after accessing the SWOT link through the main database page, make sure you're clicking on company profiles. If you can find a data monitor report on your company, it's going to be like money in the bank. So click onto, let me go back for a second here, make sure. Click onto company profiles, and then it'll bring up this page for the company profiles. Type in your company name, and then click search or browse and see what you find. And what's great about these company profiles is that it's going to include company background, so it's going to help you with that first part, company. It's going to talk about competitors, so it's going to get you with the second part. And then the third part is trends, and there's going to be a SWOT analysis included in this particular record from Data Monitor, and that often helps you with opportunities and threats, which are kind of trends in the marketplace. So those are your three big resources. So you're going to go to the marketing. I'm sorry, let's kind of back ourselves back. We're going to go to the company background information section. You're going to go to marketing section, and you're going to go to SWOT section. And just follow through and look at all three of these databases. Then what are you going to do with it? So kind of the second part of our project part one. So project part one has part one. That's secondary research through those databases we just looked at. And then project part one has a second part where I'm asking you to apply some of the things that you learned. There's this thing called the BCG matrix, and I'm not going to say a whole lot about it because I have a video. So I'm going to post up this, this PowerPoint file. Access this PowerPoint file and click in here, and you'll be able to see a video that I made about the BCG matrix. What the BCG matrix does is it allows you to look at your brand and to understand what areas of your brand are doing well and that you should invest in, and what areas of your brand are not doing so well and maybe you don't want to place a huge emphasis on that. So it kind of puts products within your brand into these different categories of stars, problem children or question marks, cash cows, and dogs. And so you're going to classify all the different aspects of your business, and that's going to help you as a planning tool when you're moving forward with the project. Then the second question deals with Ansoff's opportunity matrix. You can check that out on page 19 of your textbook. Basically what it does is it is a planning tool that allows you to look at the market and products and to kind of predict, well, what do I want to do? Do I want to focus on new consumers or existing consumers? Do I want to focus on existing products or do I want to create new products? And we can combine those different aspects or those different strategic positions and help us to plan for the future in terms of our strategy. Now, I'll post an additional either PowerPoint slide about Ansoff. So I'm going to look through and see what I have. It's also on page 19 of your textbook. So go through the OCR, take a look at it, see what those different strategic positions are. And the idea is that you accept those strategic positions. So you say, hey, if I was going to do market penetration, what would that strategy look like? And what would I do? If I was going to do market development, what would that strategy look like? And what would I do? So on and so forth. Product development and then diversification is the last of the 4 strategies from that particular model. So this is in a nutshell what our project is all about. I hope this clarifies everything for you. Please email me as soon as possible if you have questions so I can help walk you through it. I will remind you again of the deadline of when this is due. I'll post it with an announcement when I post this video so you guys will be well aware. So it's coming up within the next couple weeks. You have a little bit of time, and good luck with it. Please let me know if I can help.